Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Angel from Simply Angel Tia. In this video I'm gonna show you guys how to do these simple leg warmers. I have had requests to get some simple projects going on the channel, and this is my my listening to you guys to do some leg warmers, as I've been told to do a few more. I have done just 2 in my whole entire channel, so I will put the pictures up here, but you guys seem to really like this. The viewing on it is going high, so I decided to do this, and obviously I will do a few more in different patterns and things like that. So hopefully you guys will really enjoy this. Okay, they're very simple. It takes just a few hours if you're trying to make this as a gift for somebody or just to make them for yourself. These are very quick to make, so yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay my lovelies, so before we get the project started, I'm gonna show you the materials that I'm using. I'm using this yarn here from Azurite. It's 100% acrylic. It's a lightweight number 3. This company goes by color number, which is 31875, but I would call this like what, light purple, something like that. And recommended hook size is 3.5 to 4 millimeter crochet hook, and this skein here is 50 grams. You will probably need about just 2 of these, because one will be enough for one leg warmer and the other one for the other. For a crochet hook size, I'm using a 4.25 millimeter crochet hook, which is G6 US. I have my scissors here, I have a darning needle, and I have a tape measure as well if you do need to determine your size. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so to get the project started, we're going to start by doing a foundation chain for the length of our leg warmer, and I'm going to start by doing a slip knot just like this, and then I'm going to do a foundation chain that will be the length that I want. So I'm just gonna explain that a little bit. So you're gonna be making a leg warmer that fits you however you want it to be, and if you want to measure, you can measure on your calf how long you want it to be. And when you have determined that, you're going to do the chains that will be equivalent to that. But in this case, because we're doing a different stitch for each side of the leg warmer, it's going to increase the size by about 2 inches on each side. So we have 4 inches that these sides that we're doing here is going to be increased by. So for me, I've decided to do a chain of 40. So I'm going to start the chain of 40 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is my chain of 40 here. Okay, and it can be any number as long as you're getting the length that you think you're gonna need after you increase the sides here by about 2 inches. So my chain 40, I'm gonna do one more for my turning chain, and then I'm gonna skip that turning chain, and in the next stitch I'm going to go and do a half double crochet in the back of the foundation chain like that. Then I'm going to yarn over, go and grab the back loop of the foundation chain and do my next half double crochet, and then we're gonna repeat this all the way to the end of the chain. So go ahead and do that, and I will meet you guys at the end. Okay my lovely, so I have completed my first row of the half double crochet stitches here. So this is how it looks like. We're going to move on to row 2. I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and then I'm going to work in the next stitch by going through the back loop and completing a half double crochet, and then I'm going to move on to the next stitch, completing a half double crochet, and then to the next stitch. And also just so you know, this is going to be the repetition of the whole part of this part of the leg warmer, where we're just doing back loop, half double crochets until we have the size that we want to wrap around the widest part of our calf, so that when you do pull up your leg warmer, it's not gonna have too much trouble coming up. And also make sure you incorporate that most likely if you're wearing leg warmers, you're in a really cold climate, and you probably have either leggings underneath or some kind of pants, and you need to be able to pull your leg warmer over your pants or your leggings. Okay, so incorporate that as well. But the good thing about this stitch here, it stretches a lot, so you won't have to struggle too much. Just make sure without stretching it that it goes around the widest part of your calf, so that with the stretch it can go over a layer of clothing if you do have something that you will be wearing underneath. Okay, so you're gonna continue to do this all the way to the end. What I do for normally is I go through both loops for my final stitch. So for this stitch here, I'm not gonna grab just the back loop only. I'm not gonna just grab this, I'm gonna grab the both of them like this. And then we're going to chain one and turn, and then start our third row, and then we're going to repeat that for the fourth, fifth, until you have the size that will wrap around the widest part of your calf like this. Okay, so I'm gonna do mine, and I'm gonna keep trying it on until I can wrap it around my calf very comfortably without stretching it too much. And when I have that, I will come back to the video and we will move on to the next part of the project together. Okay, I will see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have worked my project here. So I have about 28 rows altogether, and I think this is enough for me to wrap around my calf. So if I measure that here, I have about 9.5 inches that I have completed here. And again, it's without stretching it. This project stretches quite a lot, as you can see here. But again, doing it without stretching it, and it comes around the calf, is better so that it's not stretched, and that way if you're wearing something underneath, the stretch will kind of cover that section of it for you. So we have it here, so we're going to move on to the next part of the project, and I'm going to join this pretty much from here to here. So I'm going to take my darning needle, and I've already cut some string just to be able to join this here, because I did not leave our working yarn long earlier, which I should have, but normally I leave this long so that I can use it to join here, but I just completely forgot that. So I'm just gonna, I cut a little bit from the inside of the yarn, and I'm gonna use this to join our work. So you just kind of flip it like this so it matches up, and then you're going to start doing the joining. I'm going to go through these loops here. Okay, the first stitch I'm going to go through both loops, and then on the other side I do the same, and I'm gonna put it through. I will stop here and then just knot it so that it doesn't pull off as we are joining our work, and I'll do that twice like that. And then I'm gonna move on to the next stitch here. I'm going to grab the inside, the outside of this loop and the inside of the other on the other opposite side. And again, if you have a technique that you use to join your work, whether you do slip stitches with which some people do, you can absolutely do that. But I use my darning needle to join it like this, and I grab just one of the loops on each side, and often if it's the outside on this side, it's gonna end up being the inside on the other side. And then I just repeat this all the way to the end. So I will have you guys do the same, join your work until you reach the end here, and make sure you're lining it up properly. And since we have exactly the number of stitches that matches, you should not have a problem lining up your work and joining it properly. So go ahead and do that, and I will see you guys when you've reached the end here. Okay, my lovelies, so I have joined my work here, so I'm now at the end. So for this final stitch here, I'm just going to go through both loops as well as we did on the other side. Then I'm gonna grab both loops on the opposite side as well, and I'm gonna pull, and I'm gonna do that one more time, but this time I'm gonna loop my yarn around the darning needle like that and pull, and that locks that section in like this. Okay, I'm gonna pull my yarn off, or my darning needle off, and yeah, this is pretty much how it looks like. So the joining is very nice. You don't see that there's a joining here at all, but yeah, that's how it is for now. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on to increasing on each side of our leg warmer here. And I'm just going to, I'm going to put this guy down here. I'm going to grab my my crochet hook, and we're going to continue where we left off with the with our hook, okay, with our yarn, working yarn here. So I'm going to do a chain of 2. And then I'm going to go into the top of this area here, and I'm going to complete a double crochet. And then I'm going to go ahead and go into this section here and complete a double crochet. And I'm going to go into the next here and complete a double crochet. So as you can see here, the spacing is absolutely up to you, but you want to make sure that the gaps, you're spacing your double crochets in a way that they're not kind of lumped into the same area and then too gappy in some areas. You want to make sure it's very even. And when you get to the other end, come back, and then I will show you what to do next. but for this section here, just find some nice spacing to do your double crochets, and then just do that all around. And another thing too is make sure you count at the end how many stitches you have of these double crochets, because you want to match it to this side, and then also for your second leg warmer, because if you do too much on one and then too little on the other, it will be very obvious that you don't have even stitches for that. Okay, so do this and then count how many stitches you have, write it down on a piece of paper or somewhere, and then keep it somewhere, and then come back to the video and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, my lovelies, so I completed my double crochets around the circumference here, the area, and I have completed the last one here. So this stitch here kind of goes in this area, so I'm going to slip stitch on top of that chain 2 that we started the row with, like this. Okay, so I counted my stitches. I have 44 stitches around here, the double crochet stitches. So I have that marked down somewhere, so that when I do connect my yarn on this side to do the same, I would make sure I have 44 stitches, and as well for the second leg warmer. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next part. We're going to do a chain of 2, and then we're going to do a front post double crochet in this stitch here, because this one is attached to this one. So we're just gonna go there and do a front post double crochet. Then we're going to move on to this next one and do a back post double crochet, and then on this one a front post double crochet, and then we're just alternating these 2 stitches here, or the stitch here, which is the front post double crochet and the back post double crochet, all around until we come back to this section here. So we should be able to do our last one in this stitch, because this one is connected to the chain 2. So go ahead and complete this row, and I will see you guys when you've reached the end. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed this row of the front post back post double crochets, and I've done my last stitch here, which is the back post double crochet, and I have my chain 2 that I started the row with here. So I'm gonna go ahead and slip stitch on top of that chain 2. Okay, just like that, and that completes this row. Then I'm going to start the next row by doing chain of 2, and then I'm going to follow the way my stitches are lined up here. So this one here, I'm going to complete a front post double crochet, and then the next one will be the back post double crochet, and then this one will be a front post double crochet. And as you can see, we just repeat this until we come back again to this beginning here. Your final stitch will be the back loop double crochet here, and then you're going to grab the top stitch of the chain 2 that we did and slip stitch, chain 2, and then repeat. We're going to repeat this for about 5 rows altogether. So we have 2 here, we have started our 3rd, and then we will do 4 and 5. And when we have completed that, I'm going to show you how it looks like, and then we're going to connect the yarn over on this side and repeat exactly what we just did here for us to complete our stitches. But for now, complete the 5 rows that you need on this side here, and then come back, and then we will see how that looks like, and you will see if you like it. If you need to increase it by doing more, it's up to you. But then I'm just going to show you guys how it looks like for 5 rows, and then we can go ahead, and I will go ahead and complete on this side as well as you would. Okay, I will see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed 5 rows here for the leg warmer. So we have the 5 rows of the front post back post double crochet. I've decided to just do 5 because I think that is plenty of it like this, and I don't want it to be too long because I still have to do it on this side as well. So I have slip stitch on top of the chain 2 here. So I'm just gonna cut my yarn, and then we will lock that in, and then I can start the other row, the other side. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just lock these in like this. Okay, so this side is done. So all I will do now is just take my yarn, and I will connect my crochet hook and my yarn here. Start by doing 42 stitches of double crochet around the circumference here, and then doing 4 rows after that of the front post, back post, double crochet. And then when that's completed, I will come and show you how that looks like, and then we will move on to doing our second pair. Okay, I will see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I've gone ahead and completed my second side as well. So as you can see here, this is pretty much a completed leg warmer. I still have to weave in my ends here, and it just so happened that one skein of yarn, I have completed the whole thing with just that much left. Okay, so it's good to make sure you have 2. If you're doing exactly the size that I'm doing here, 2 is enough. But if you're making your leg warmers a little bit longer or just a little bit wider in terms of the size, then you will need to get more than 1. But as you can see here, this is a complete skein that makes one leg warmer like this. So I'm gonna pretty much go ahead and start the second one. I'm gonna repeat that and do the exact same thing, and then when I have both of them completed, I will weave in all of my ends here, and then I'll come and show you how the 2 looks like after it's done. Okay, I'll see you guys then. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed my 2 leg warmers here. I'll put them like this so you can see them properly. So this is pretty much it. I have weaved in all the ends, and as you can see, this is pretty much how they look like. Super stretchy. Okay, so again, for when you're wearing leggings underneath or pants, some kind of tight pants, you're able to put them up without any struggle. So I hope you guys really enjoyed doing this one with me. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.